everyone, it's Liz, and today I am coming to you from Lake Mead. Now, it's been about a month since I gave a Lake Mead update video, so that's what I'll be doing today. Also, I live in a community called Lake Las Vegas. Well, in the news recently, there has been some negative press, so to speak, about all of the water that Lake Las Vegas is using to keep this man-made lake filled, and I will also be discussing that later in this video as well. First, I'm at Hemingway Harbor, and this is the only open official boat launch here in Nevada. There were 5 others, and they have all closed down because the water level has gotten so low that people could no longer launch boats from there anymore. It was just impossible. So right now, Hemingway Harbor, as of July 31st, is still open. It has 2 lanes where you can launch your boat. And right now, I want to take you back to those water level signs that you've probably seen in other videos if you've been watching anything that has to do with Lake Mead. We'll start with this sign from 2018 showing the water line, and you can see how far the water has receded over 4 years. And the water line is actually where the sign is in the ground. I've had several people ask that question. So now, to get where the water level was just last year in 2021, it's really just a short walk. You can see it here. There's not a drastic drop in water from 2018 to 2021. But when you see where 2021 was, and look to where the water line is now, it's over a 300-foot difference. So now I'd like to show you a different viewpoint of Hemingway Harbor. And from up here, you have this bird's eye view where you can really see just how drastically the water level has receded, and especially in recent years. Remember the sign showing the water level in 2021? That is right here, and I'm going to draw a line on the screen to show you a little better. Take a look at the marina over here. You know, every few weeks or so, they keep moving it back and further out because the water keeps receding. So, you know, it's only a matter of time before they aren't going to be able to move it out anymore. And some people are even concerned that the marina might get landlocked. If you look at the area over here, if more water recedes and it leaves that too shallow for boats to cross, same with this area over here. We don't know how shallow that is, how much more it's going to recede. So it doesn't seem to be too big of a concern for people that are working at the marina, but there are a lot of locals that are really concerned that, you know, one of these days, maybe in the next 2 to 3 years or so, that marina itself might also be inaccessible. Oh my God, I thought this was a snake at first. As you walk around here on this receded, what was once lake bed, you can see all of the various ropes and cables that were used that secured the marina down at one point when the water extended out this far. You know, unfortunately, there is a lot of trash out here. If I would have brought a garbage bag, I could have picked up some of this, but there's just so much of it. You know, it's like, how do you even make a dent in this? Maybe they should have a volunteer group arranged so we can all come out here and pitch in and help clean this place up. But look at this. You can see where some previous floating walkways were. This is all really sad, you know, almost apocalyptic in a way. And I hate to see what it's going to look like 6 months to a year from now. It's just, I don't know what to say. So when you hear about Lake Mead water levels, they always give you the level that's above sea level. So right now it's at the very end of July, and the current lake level is 1,040 feet above sea level. The Bureau of Reclamation just released a 2-year report. It's like a looking forward type of study, and from what I understand, they update it every month. But they just released a report, and they project that 1 year from now, in July of 2023, the water level will be down to 1,020 feet. So these above sea level numbers are important for a few reasons. Number one is to keep you apprised of how close we are coming to hitting dead pool with Hoover Dam. Now, the number for dead pool is 895 feet above sea level. And what dead pool means is that the water level has gotten so low that it can no longer go through the intakes to generate hydroelectricity, and it can actually no longer even pass through the dam, and it can't even go downstream to Arizona and California. So 895 is like the catastrophic number that none of us want it to get to. The above sea level number also is important because it lets you know what tier water shortage the federal government is going to assign as far as what our allotment will be and how much our cutbacks will be. If the lake is projected to fall below 1,030 feet anytime within 2 years, Arizona, California, and Nevada must reconvene to decide what additional steps they will take to keep Lake Mead from reaching the point of 1,020 feet above sea level. Now, 1,020 feet, this is an elevation that many people consider the crash point. And then the next milestone beyond that, if you want to call it a milestone, is dead pool at 895, which is really just catastrophic. So when dealing with measurements of large-scale water resources like Lake Mead or Hoover Dam, the common unit of measurement is AF, or acre feet. An acre foot of water is the amount of water that it takes to fill 1 acre about 1 foot high. So if you imagine a football field and it was filled 1 foot high with water, that is what an acre foot is. And 1 acre foot is also equal to 326,000 gallons. Here's a clip from a recent online interview with the Southern Nevada Water Authority regarding the amount of water Southern Nevada is allotted and also how much we've used.
So at a tier 1 shortage, our legal allocation is reduced by 21,000 acre feet. So instead of 300,000 acre feet available to us this year, we have 279,000 acre feet available to us. At a tier 2, that cut goes from 21 to 25. So our legal entitlement would be reduced to 275,000 acre feet. But to put that in context, last year we used 242,000 acre feet. So even at a tier 2 shortage, we're still in pretty good shape from a water resource perspective, but the more concerning thing is the rapid rate of the decline of Lake Mead.
So at the tier 1 level that we're currently at, Southern Nevada had to cut back from 300,000 acre feet of water to 279 acre feet this year. Now, last year, we only used 242,000 acre feet. Even at a tier 1 or a tier 2 water shortage, Southern Nevada is still not using the full amount of water that it's been allotted for its use. So I'm at the marina on a Sunday and it seems pretty quiet except for a large birthday party. It looks like they are going to be going on one of the houseboats. It is a little bit before 10 a.m. and right now it is pretty quiet here, not too many people. There's obviously still a lot of boats docked here. Oh my God, here come some ducks too. I'm sure they get plenty of food. I don't know, this is really sad, you guys. I can't even think about this not even possibly being here in the next 4 to 5 years. So let's get on with the community of Lake Las Vegas. For those of you that have never heard of it, as I mentioned at the beginning, it is a resort-style master plan community located about 18 to 20 miles outside of Las Vegas. And the contentious part about this community is that it has a 320-acre man-made lake which gets its water from Lake Mead. Now, it doesn't steal the water, it doesn't siphon it off, it does purchase it, and the water that it purchases does come from Lake Mead. And this community was built in the early 80s, and if you remember, back in 1983 is when Lake Mead had the most water in it ever. So a couple of weeks ago, there were news stories that were reporting that last year, Lake Las Vegas had purchased 1.5 billion gallons of water just to keep the lake full. And there are many people out there that are saying that all of this water that we're purchasing to help maintain and fill our man-made lake is what is contributing to the demise of Lake Mead. They say, well, no wonder Lake Mead is losing so much water, it's going to Lake Las Vegas. Yes, 1.5 billion gallons sounds like and is a tremendous amount of water. But when you take that number and you isolate it and pull it out of context, it sounds absolutely astronomical. So I'd like to put some numbers on a screen here for you. Lake Las Vegas is the largest commercial water user in the Vegas Valley area. The cumulative purchase of Lake Las Vegas's 1.5 billion gallons of water equals 4,601 acre feet. If Nevada used 242,000 acre feet of water last year, Lake Las Vegas's 4,601 acre feet is 1.9% of all water used. Nevada's total water use, if converted into gallons, is 78,892,000,000 gallons. I moved to Lake Las Vegas well before any water shortage tiers were put in place, and certainly long before any sunken ships and dead bodies in barrels started popping up in Lake Mead and surprising us all. And yes, I'll admit that it was the draw of this beautiful lake which really convinced me to move here. And it is my own personal opinion that if we ever get to a Tier 2 or Tier 3 water shortage, I am all for conserving in the way that is required. I mean, if it means that Lake Las Vegas has to take less water, then it takes less water, you know, or if it means that we need to let the lake evaporate, then let it evaporate. I really hope and think that it's not ever going to have to get to that point, but if it does, and that's really all I have to say about that. Thanks so much for watching. If this is one of the first times you're seeing my video and you want to see more content like this, go ahead and hit subscribe. And if you think there might be somebody who would be interested in watching this, go ahead and share it with them. Give me a like and also leave me a comment below. Once again, I appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next video.